Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and today we're going to be talking about the quote-unquote Memorial Day sale that happened this past weekend. Now I know I'm a little bit late to this, but basically I recorded this video on Tuesday, I believe, and as I was editing the video, Tixvalk went limited, and then also I noticed that the video I was editing was going to end up being around 30-something minutes, so I figured I'd completely redo it and basically make it much shorter and much more to the point. But you might be wondering, why did I say quote-unquote Memorial Day sale earlier? And the reason why I said that is because Roblox used to hold Memorial Day sales every Memorial Day weekend. And it would be something that they post about, put in the blog, and it would be a very big event. And a lot of items would go on discount. That's also a big thing. And basically the reason why I said quote-unquote is because one, Roblox did not announce this at all, and even right now, they didn't mention anything about a Memorial Day sale, so that's why I'm saying quote-unquote, because a lot of people are calling it that, and I myself called it that, I'm pretty sure, but it's never been officially called that. And then also, no items actually went on discount. Just a bunch of items went limited. That's really all that happened. And really quickly, before we take a look at all the items that went limited, I actually wanted to talk about my Twitter account really quickly, because as you guys can see, as every item has gone limited, I've actually made a tweet for some of them anyway. Like for example, when the blue Sparkle Time Bandana went limited, I said this one looks cool. And then when Silverthorn Antlers went limited, I said what is going on? Because I was just completely shocked. And then for example, I made a little tweet here saying that at this point the word clocks going limited jokes could turn into a reality, because a lot of items that nobody really expected to go limited went limited. And then also, I talked about the Tixvalk when it first went limited, as you can see here. I could not believe what I was seeing, and also I was shocked right here that it sold for 3 million. But yeah, I figured I could shout out my Twitter really quickly in case you guys want to see my thoughts on stuff before I make videos on them. The link's down in the description. But anyway, moving on to the rest of the video. I'm actually going to start this video by taking a look at Tixvalk, because instead of leaving this for the very end, I figured I'd just talk about the biggest item out of all of them first, and everything else is going to be basically in reverse chronological order, in the sense that I'm basically going to be moving backwards. And for all the items that aren't very significant, like for example something that's not Tixvalk but instead something like just for example the springtime sword pack, I'm going to kind of glance over it. But for the bigger items like Tixvalk, we're actually going to be talking about them. And as you can see, Tixvalk in particular is a very, very expensive item, and this is, like I said before, the biggest item out of this whole quote-unquote sale. And the best price right now is 4.3 million Robux. Its wrap is 3.1 million Robux, which means that it's already one of the, like, I believe top 7 or 8 items on the catalog right now in terms of wrap. And I'm sure, trading-wise, I'm pretty sure its value is probably also going to be in, like, the top 8 items or so. Now, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that there's only 20-something copies that have premium owners right now, and I think if you remove all the hidden and terminated owners, I think there's only, like, 70-something copies remaining. But yeah, just taking a look at the people who are selling this, they all have it up for really, really high prices. And also really quickly, I want to see here, just because I'm curious. So 4 sold yesterday, and the day it went limited, 2 sold for an average of 3.5 million, and then 3. Yeah, I remember this one actually, because it sold for 3 million, and not too long after it sold for 4 million. And I just want to say, whoever bought it for 4 million, I kind of feel bad for them, because the average price the day after was 3.3 million, meaning that they could have saved like numerous hundreds of thousands of Robux. But I mean, when you have 4 million Robux to spend on a Tixvalk, I'm pretty sure you don't really need to worry about a couple 100,000 Robux. But yeah, Tixvalk is one of the items that actually came out when Roblox was removing tickets, and they basically created a lot of ticket dedicated items when they decided to remove tickets to allow people to spend their tickets on these type of items. And as you guys probably saw when I scrolled down to show you this insane wrap right here, you probably noticed that there's only 131 sold. And that's because this was 500,000 tickets, and I believe this was like the 3rd or 4th most expensive item as part of this wholesale. So I'm not really surprised at the very low quantity sold. And I mean, as time has gone on, it basically became even rarer and rarer. And now that it's limited, I could definitely understand why it's so expensive. It's just an item that was very hard to obtain back then, and it was very rare. And then nowadays, it's even more rare than it was back then. And of course, it has a lot of attention behind it now that it went limited. I'm pretty sure when it went limited, the entire ROBLOX Discord server went crazy. Like, I remember clicking on it, and I just saw the chat like going, just flying by. I couldn't even read what people were saying half the time. But yeah, this item had a lot of attention and a lot of hype around it, so I'm not really surprised by the huge price tag. And I think this item will do pretty well in the long term. I mean, it's a Valk, so it'll probably be fine no matter what. But anyway, moving on, the next item that we're going to be talking about is Big Head. And Big Head is one of the items that really surprised me when it went limited, because this is a really old item that usually just went on sale for every single event. But this time Roblox decided, you know what, we're actually going to make it limited instead of putting it on sale. And if we were to take a look, it has 191,000 sales. So, like I said before, this is actually the product of this item being put on sale so often. I'm pretty sure if they didn't put it on sale as much as they did, this would be much rarer and it would probably be more expensive. But since so many people have it, I mean, it makes sense why it's only 5,000 or so. But yeah, like I said before, I was really surprised when I saw this one limited because just like the Silverthorn Antlers, this is a classic item that just usually went on sale. So the fact that it went limited was just completely random, unexpected, and honestly, I think it's pretty cool that it went limited. But anyway, now we're going to be moving on to another item that's somewhat related to Big Head. Big Silverthorn Antlers. And this price tag is not a joke. It is 250,000 Robux. Now this item only works with Big Head, meaning that technically to properly wear the Silverthorn Antlers, you also have to buy this one. So it's not going to be 250,000, but roughly 255,000. Which, I mean, if you have 250,000 to buy this, I'm sure you have another 5,000 for the Big Head. And even without these, it's kind of funny if you wear this without the Big Head because it's just big floating antlers way above your head. But either way, getting back on topic with, taking a look at the item and how it's performing, this item actually went on sale, I believe, for 25,000 for a few minutes, and then it went limited. I don't know the exact time frame of how long it was on sale, but basically it went on sale for 25,000 a little bit before it went limited. And I mean, that's part of the 890 quantity sold here. And you're going to see if I go to 30 days, there's 294 sold here on the day it went limited, and then 12 sold after. So it's not like this item just completely died in terms of hype, like directly the day after. It's actually because I'm pretty sure a large majority of these sales actually came from this item being 25k. But the people who bought this for 25k back when it went limited, they definitely made a huge profit because, I mean, the wrap right now is 129,000. And you can see it sold for an average of 175,000 yesterday, 127,000 the day before, and 53,000 here. So even if you spent 50,000 when it first went limited, you're still up quite a bit of Robux. But yeah, long term, I don't even know how this item is going to do. I don't really think this is going to be the most expensive item or anything, but I think this is probably a good range for it, like around the 200,000 range. But moving on to the next item, which is also related to this one because it is the real Silverthorn Antlers. We have the Silverthorn Antlers. I mean, yeah, we have the Silverthorn Antlers to take a look at. And this item, as you can see, is also a very classic item that used to go on sale very frequently, just like Big Head, pretty much for every event. And now it's limited instead of being on sale. And just like Big Head, it had 190,000 sold. So it was a very, very frequently purchased item, just like the Big Head. Actually, just slightly less sales. However, this one is doing a little bit better, and I think it has to do with the fact that this is antlers, and I mean, just in general, Silverthorn Antlers have been a pretty high demand item. You know, people always kind of looked forward to it when it went on sale, even though it's been on sale a million times. So that probably explains why it's doing a little bit better than Big Head. But yeah, if we were to take a look at this item and the chart, you're going to see that this item was doing much better not too long ago. You can see it started off for roughly 6k the first day with 2,169 sold. That is a lot. And the next day, 662 sold for an average of 7,700. And at one point, this was like 9 point something K. And I think the wrap was also like 8 point something K. And then, as you can see, it went back down afterwards. So I don't really know what happened here to make it go up and back down. But it's whatever, honestly. Even though I own this and, you know, I wish I sold it at 9k and just purchased another one. I mean, a 1k profit, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of Robux. But it was only a few thousand more than what it is now. But yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those items that is going to be pretty cheap. Like, I genuinely don't believe this item will be past 15k for a very long time. And I think 15k is a little bit generous. I think this item is going to stay around the 10k range for a very, very long time. And I mean, if we take a look at the people who are selling this item, you're going to see a lot of people selling in the 7k range. And you see how many times I'm clicking load more. We're still in the 8k range, and we finally made it to the 9. We're not even at 10k yet. And keep in mind that some people who purchase it just put it back on sale for a little bit higher later. And we finally made it to 10k now. And these are all the people selling it. So yeah, it's going to be a while before this goes up. But yeah, moving on to the next item, we actually have an Immortal sword to take a look at. We have the Immortal sword, Vlad's Lament. And you can see right now the best price is 65k, so it's not that bad. And again, as you're going to notice with this chart, there's something a little bit weird. Why are there so many sales on the first day? It's actually because this went on sale for 10k. I don't remember how long it was on sale for, but it went on sale for 10k, and then it went limited afterwards. And as you can see, anybody who purchased it for 10k, you made a huge profit. You made a great choice because you can see now it's like in the 60k range, and it's just a huge profit for anyone who purchased it at that point. But yeah, as you can see, it has 1,245 sold, and this is basically just any other Immortal sword. I genuinely believe this will probably stay around the 60, 70, 80k range for a while. I don't really see this going much further than that. But then again, I don't really know that much about Immortal swords. I've never been the type of person to keep up with all the prices and all the Immortal swords and all that. So this one could be one that does very well, but I don't know. This one seems like it has a little bit more of a Halloween theme to it. So maybe around Halloween time, this one will do better than a lot of the other ones. If that's even a thing anymore, because I remember in the past, items like that related to a certain holiday would do better around that holiday. I don't know if that's a case anymore, but in case it is, I would say that this will probably do better around Halloween. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really give you a proper estimate or anything, but I think this is a pretty fair range for it, like the 60 to 80k range. But anyway, moving on to the next item, we're going to be taking a look at Blizzard Beast Mode Bandana. Now, this item is very, very interesting. And also, as you're going to see, this one is a pretty high demand item. And I mean, it's selling for an average of 5k, you know, it's literally best price 5k, its wrap is 5k. And it has almost 50,000 quantities sold. And I can definitely understand why this has as much demand as it does. Because it's basically giving you a Blizzard Beast Mode for a fraction of the price, or at least most of a Blizzard Beast Mode. Obviously, you still have the bandana and whatever. But the Blizzard Beast Mode face is just printed onto the bandana right here. So you don't have to spend the hundreds of thousands or whatever the Blizzard Beast Mode is now. You don't have to spend all of that to get that anymore. You could get the exact same, you know, face here, minus the eyes, obviously, for 5,000. And I mean, for a lot of people, that is a very good deal. And they would rather have that instead of spending 20 times this price in order to get the real Blizzard Beast Mode. And honestly, I don't know how this is going to affect the Blizzard Beast Mode, like the real Blizzard Beast Mode. I don't think it will really do too much to it, but, you know, I own it, so I kind of am hoping that that's the case. But yeah, regardless, I really don't think that this will affect the item all that much. But yeah, I could be wrong in saying that, but I really don't think that it will affect the Blizzard Beast Mode too much. And taking a look at the prices real quick, it goes up in price kind of... not that fast, actually. It's not really going up that fast. But it does get to 10k pretty fast. So maybe this will be an item that's around 10k. But if I had to predict anything, I think this item will probably stay around the like 7, 8, 9k range for a while. I don't really think it's going to go past 10k for a while. But again, I could be wrong. But moving on to the next item, and this is a very interesting item for a particular reason. We have the Tickets tie. And you might be wondering, what makes the Tickets tie so special? And for that, I actually have to refer to the ROBLOX Twitter account. As you can see, ROBLOX tweeted, "This month, Roblox has brought back a long-standing tradition of turning off-sale items into tradable collectibles, or limiteds. One of the items, Tickets tie, with 2.58 million copies. Yeah, million copies, by the way, not like 1,000 or anything. 2.58 million copies has surpassed the previous record holder, Shaggy, with 2.07 million for most copies in existence." And they actually posted a chart, which I'm going to show you guys real quick, that shows the amount of copies of every limited item on Roblox. And you can see Tickets tie takes up a pretty large chunk of this pie chart here, with 2.5 million copies, Shaggy with another 2 million here, and then Cuddly Koala with 1.9 million right here. And I'm pretty sure these three items in particular, the Tickets tie, Shaggy, and Cuddly Koala, make up 33% or so of this pie chart. Like 1/3 of this pie chart is made up of these three items right here, meaning that 1/3 of all the limited items on the catalog in terms of copies are these three items. And then you have the Outrageous Builders Club hard hat, which we talked about in another video. We have the legit fedora, and then we have all the other 2,000 plus limited items combined here, which kind of make up a little bit more than half this pie chart. I feel like this is probably more like a 40% over here with these 5 items, and then like a 60%. I could be wrong. I'm not doing any type of math to break this down to show you guys or anything. However, if you want to check the math and, you know, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure this is like about a 40-something percent, maybe 40%, and then like a 60% here. But yeah, it's really crazy when you think that most of the copies of limiteds on the catalog are really just a few of these items here. But moving back to the Tickets tie page now, you guys are going to see that the quantity sold is a lot lower than 2.5 million. Apparently only 111,000 of these Tickets ties were sold, and I don't know why that is. So if somebody can let me know down in the comments why this is the case. I have no idea, so hopefully someone can let me know down in the comments and, you know, inform me, because I don't understand how 111,000 sold, but 2.5 million copies exist. I'm sure there's probably a logical reason, but I genuinely just cannot think of what that reason is. But yeah, as you can see, this item has a lot of sellers in the 1K range, and then it goes up to 2K, and I'm pretty sure this item is just going to stay cheap for a very long time. Like, without a doubt, I don't even need to look at all the sellers or anything. I think this item is going to stay a very solid 1 to 2K item for a very long time. I think this is going to join the likes of Shaggy and all the other items that have millions of copies. which is actually just Cuddly Koala. But you get what I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating. You know, all the items with tons of copies, I think they're all going to stay around this range. Aside from legit Fedora, obviously. That one is doing much better than all these items. But Tickets tie, like I said, I think this is going to be a solid 1 to 2k item. But moving on to the next item, which is actually the base item of the sale, aside from Tixvalk, we have the Blue Sparkle Time Bandana. And I'm not joking, this item is actually selling for 514,999 Robux. And that is the best price right now. And if we were to take a look at the sales chart, you're going to notice something really strange about this item. You see, people were actually buying this item in the days leading up to it going limited. You can see like some days just one person bought it. This day, 3 people bought it. And the days leading up, like the days right before this item went limited, a few people decided to purchase it. Like 2 people here decided to purchase it on May 25th. Someone bought it on May 27th. And I'm more than sure on May 28th, a few people probably bought it as well. But yeah, this item is selling for the best price of 514,000. And this is actually very different than what this was a few days ago when I originally recorded this whole video, because it was selling for 200,000. And even at that point, I was like, 200,000, I feel like that might be like the upper limit. I think it could be more expensive, but I don't think it could be that much more expensive. Like, I don't think it's gonna be the 500,000 range. And sure enough, when I re-record this video, 2 days later, it is 514,000 best price. And if we were to take a look at the wrap, it is 239,000. Someone bought it for 300,000 yesterday. 290,000 average here, 185,000 average here, 111,000 average here. And then the day one limited, 58,000 as an average price. And I just want to say, anybody who bought it in the days leading up to this, you're some of the luckiest people on the planet. Because this was a completely random item that's been on the catalog for a very long time. And you guys will never believe me when I tell you what the price of this item was in the days leading up to it going limited. This item was 8,000 Robux. No joke, I'm not kidding. You can look it up on the Roblox Wikia if you don't believe me. This item was 8,000 Robux. Literally up until the minute it went limited, it was 8,000 Robux. So the people who bought this item in the days leading up to this made such a large profit in such a short amount of time. I think it's probably unrivaled. There's probably no other way to make that much of a profit doing nothing. Like, they literally just bought an item that they thought looked kind of cool, and then it just randomly went limited, just out of their control. And the item just skyrocketed in price. But yeah, anybody who bought it for 58,000, you also made a very, very good choice, because, I mean, look at it now. You even selling it now for like 200,000, which is below the wrap and everything, you're making a huge profit on what you paid for it. But yeah, when it comes to trading this item, I honestly don't know what this is going for, and I really wish I looked into this before I started recording. But based off the wrap, and I mean, the best price is 514,000, but nobody bought it. But some people are buying for like 300k. I have a feeling that this is probably going to be like a strong 300 to 400k item. Again, that's just my prediction. I don't think this item has been valued yet, and I haven't really seen any trades involving this item. But I think just based off what I'm seeing here and the demand, because look at 9 people buying it for an average of 290,000. I think this item has a pretty strong, demand behind it. And I mean, it's selling for a pretty decent price. And I mean, obviously, this is just the beginning days where there's still hype around it. Maybe this item just falls into obscurity and it crashes later on. But with 529 sold, I think this item will probably do pretty well long term. And even if it does go down, I don't think it's ever going to be lower than like 150,000 or anything. I think this is going to be one of those items that just stays strong in like the 200 minimum to like 400,000 maximum range for a while. I don't really know. Again, I'm just kind of making a prediction on this item. And I mean, in my opinion, it looks pretty cool, as you can see on my character. It's a blue bandana with the Sparkle Time texture on it. And I'm sure this goes really nicely with the Midnight Blue Sparkle Time Fedora. But yeah, like I said, in my opinion, this item looks really cool. And based off what I've seen, it looks like there's a little bit of demand behind it. So I think this item will probably be doing fine in the future. I think this will do just fine. But anyway, moving on to the next 3 items, which are the last 3 items we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to kind of go over these a little bit fast. We have the Springtime Sword Pack, we have the Midsummer Lapel Pin, and the Midsummer Cape. Now I actually want to talk about the Lapel Pin and the Cape first, because these two I could kind of glance over a little bit faster. You see, these two were both items that were just on sale in the catalog that randomly went limited. And I'm going to start with the Lapel Pin, actually. This was from the Midsummer Sale 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, it's selling for $9.95. This is actually the cheapest item, and it's cheaper than the Tickets tie, which is interesting. And there's 22,000 quantities sold, so it's a lot more rare compared to the Tickets tie, or a lot rarer, I should say. But yeah, a lot of people are just selling it for very cheap, and I guess it has to do with it just being a pin that just gets sticked onto your character, as you can see. There's really nothing else to it. It's literally just a pin that goes on your character. Yeah, this is just going to be one of those smalls, so there's not really much for me to say. And the same thing for the Midsummer Cape. It's doing a little bit better than the Lapel Pin, but this was from the Midsummer sale of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see this is another item that was just on sale. I honestly don't remember what the price was. I looked it up before, but I don't remember. But yeah, as you can see, this is another one of those items. It actually started off really strong, by the way. Started with 8K average price. Whoever bought it for 8K, I feel bad for you because now it's selling for an average of 2K. And long term, it's probably going to stay around the 1 to 2K range as well. There's 5,000 sold though, so maybe I could be wrong. Maybe this will do better in the future. But again, if this was kind of cheap in the past, even then, if it wasn't too expensive, the people who bought it here on May 25th, again, some of the luckiest people on the planet, because whatever you paid for it, you could have sold it for 8K and then picked up another one if you liked it for 2K right now. And you would have made 6K profit before fees, obviously, minus whatever the original price was. But it was definitely not anywhere near like 1,000, I don't think. So yeah, basically whoever bought it here and anyone who sold it for 8K, they basically just made a huge profit off this item. But anyway, moving on to the last item, we have the Springtime Sword Pack. And the reason why I left this one for last is actually because, one, I like sword packs, they're pretty cool. And then two, this item is a little bit different than the other two, because this came out of the Pastel Basket of Danger on April 11th, 2014, as you can see in the description. Meaning that this one is technically a gift item. Technically, it's not really a gift in the sense of, you know, the Christmas gifts that they used to have on Roblox, where you could either earn them for free or purchase them. These are kind of more like the gifts from Halloween, where you purchase the Halloween gifts and you get a random Halloween-related item put into your inventory, except this time it was related to Easter, as you can see with the Easter eggs, because this came as part of the 2014 egg hunt. But yeah, the Pastel Basket of Danger was basically just a gear that was on sale, and if you purchased it, you ended up owning this item. That's really how you obtained it. That's why there's no quantity sold or anything. And honestly, it's not doing terrible. As you can see, the day one limited, its average price was 4,000, but it's kind of gone down to the 2K range now. And honestly, I mean, like I said before, I like sword packs, so personally, I would love to see this item do very well in the long term. Sword packs are just very cool to me. I've always liked them on Roblox, but if I'm being realistic with you guys, I think this item will probably just stay around the 2 to 3K range for a while. I don't really see it moving up too much. And I mean, when you take a look at the people who are selling it, you can see it's in the 2K range, the 3K range. Then it goes up a little bit faster over here, but it has a lot of sellers putting it for cheap, and I mean, its wrap is 1.7K. So yeah, I don't think this item is going to be doing very well in the long term or anything. And like I said before with the Immortal Sword, I don't know if these things still happen where an item that's related to a certain holiday does better around that time frame. But I think that this item might do better around Easter, just because this is kind of related to Easter, has the little Easter eggs here. And I mean, it's a springtime sword pack, so maybe if we wait until spring, this item might do a little bit better, because Easter is in the springtime, and again, also springtime is literally in the name. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if that happens. But again, like I said before, I don't even know if that still happens on Roblox, like if people still buy items related to certain times of year just to buy them for that time of year, or if that's just something that's part of the past and nobody does that anymore. But yeah, that's all the items that went limited as part of Roblox's Memorial Day sale, if you want to call it that. And honestly, I'm really surprised at the items that they decided to make limited. Some of these were completely random, like the Springtime Sword Pack, as we mentioned. And some of them were just a complete shock, like the Silverthorn Antlers and Big Head, because usually those just go on sale. And I wouldn't have been surprised at all if they just went on sale or anything. It kind of would have made me be like, oh wow, they might have a sale. But it wouldn't have made me as surprised as them going limited. But some of the other items, like for example the Immortal Sword and the big Silverthorn Antlers, when those got put on sale, people kind of figured that they were going to go limited, which is why so many of them sold. Because once people realized like, oh hey, certain items are getting put on sale and then going limited, and also the fact that Roblox doesn't really put anything off sale back on sale really anymore, it kind of makes people like, oh hey, I kind of want to buy this now. And especially after the Immortal Sword, the big Silverthorn Antlers, I'm pretty sure a lot of people after seeing the Immortal Sword, they just bought that one. And that one wasn't really much of a shock. But yeah, as a whole, a lot of these items were really surprising to see go limited. And I'm just glad Roblox keeps making items limited. And hopefully this isn't just like some quote-unquote Memorial Day sale, like I said before, and they're going to slow down or completely stop making items limited again. I would really love to see 1 or 2 new limiteds every day for this foreseeable future. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, as mentioned for today's video, I just wanted to take a look at all the items that went limited as part of Roblox's quote-unquote Memorial Day sale, if you want to call it that. But also really quickly before I end today's video, let me know down in the comments, which one of these items is your favorite? Because I think for me, my favorite item out of all of them is the Blue Sparkle Time Bandana, because like I said before, that just looks really, really cool to me. But yeah, let me know which one of these is your favorite down in the comments. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.